Well, good evening, everyone, and happy Sunday. Good evening to the YouTube side. Good evening to Nordic. My evening's going well. Hopefully you've had a good weekend and are ready for Monday. And good evening to the Rumble side. And good evening to Thormurn, who's had a lot of fun at this year's festival. Let's see, what has Thormurn done? He has done the festival several times, got himself a whole nice new outfit, looking very spiffy and festive there. Weekend has been rough. I'm sorry to hear that. What's been going on? He got himself a new mount. Actually, a very nice looking, I'm assuming from the antlers, this is some type of moose. Very handsome looking animal. He got himself a couple of pets. Intestinal problems? Yeah, that's no fun. He got a black cat. And yes, we did end up getting the ghostly cat. I'm probably going to be sad if I have to use that, but we have it. Oh, hello, Drive-By. You say hi all, looking good today. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, and he also has learned all of the dances he can learn at the festival. And he finally picked some crafting professions. Because, you know, well, we've been putting that off a bit. So he is a farmer, a cook, and a scholar. They just seem to fit pretty good together. He's done a little bit of farming and cooking, not much. Made himself a couple of basic foods. He'll have to go out and do some digging for some scholar materials, though. But yeah, back to what you were saying, Nordic. I totally get it. Intestinal problems are not fun. Good day, George Chris. And happy Sunday. Hope you've had a good weekend. You ready for the week ahead? Oh, and it's Halloween week.
Greetings.
Which, I guess right before Halloween, I was thinking to maybe do an extra stream where I play some sort of, I don't know, semi-scary game. I know I was supposed to play Scorn, but I cannot bring myself to want to play that, even though I want to, but I don't want to. Because I'm a little wuss and don't like scary things very much. Funny thing is, I can watch certain scary movies, but not others. No, they're not. My entire Saturday was wiped out, and today I've been fatigued and feeling like crap. Sitting here organizing the components for Barbarossa Army Group Center 1941 from GMT. Yeah. Well, I am sorry to hear that you haven't been feeling good, and I hope that you do feel better really soon. I do know what it's like. IBS is nobody's friend. Alright, we need to head down into this swamp here. Ha ha ha! I like Thormurn. He's so funny. I will be dealing with what I have for the rest of my life. It's just a matter of trying to manage it best I can. In all honesty, I should probably be labeled as disabled because of it. Do you have some form of IBS too? It almost sounds like it. you have severe IBS, and Diverticulitis? Diverticulitis. I think that's how you would pronounce that. Is this where I want to be? No, I think it's here. Yep, it's here. Okay. All right. That's one troll down. Oh, you stinker. All right. That's two down. All right. I don't want both you on my butt at the same time. Would you please move? Oh, wait, never mind. We'll just go for Galrip instead. I'm gonna get two on my butt anyway. All right. Okay, Galrip's down. I need one more troll. Well, where is that one that you were talking to a minute ago? Over here? Excuse me. It seems like you are my next well, kill. Alright. Done with trolls for now. We'll eventually have to come back and kill a bunch of them for the deed, but not at the moment. Take those off the books. And we can head up here and talk to Eric the Stone Speaker. New deed, the Grimthons. Austere. I'm assuming Ost means something to them.
What can I do for you?
And we're not going to bother reading these because we have read them before.
Stay a moment.
Aw, Kitty's name is Boo. Alright, I need to talk to you. Don't attack me. Look, I like ghosts. I have a ghost kitty. But you're gonna attack me anyway. Thou hast defeated my men. Yeah, no kidding. Now will you help me? Defeat Broodra. So you said you were working on components for the Barbarossa Army Group Center 1941 from GMT. Can you explain what that is? Alright, so you want me to find some stuff for you. And you over here. Oh, well. I'm organizing the counters for the game. It's a hex and counter war game.
Might I take a moment of your...
Crawlers. Still sounds disgusting. Sickle fly pudding really sounds disgusting. Soggy mushroom mash sounds absolutely vile. Okay. Now, I think I've finally figured out the hex. It's a board made out of hexagonal pieces, right? Oh, look. We got a couple of ancient bog wardens here. Okay. Alright, that's one down. Well, it's a paper map with hexagons, or it's a horde board with hexagons. Okay. I actually have a couple of little city builder type games on the computer that use hexagonal pieces. They're kind of fun. I mean, nothing like what you're talking about, but it took me a bit to put it together when you said hex board game that the spaces were hexagonal. Kind of silly of me, huh? But yeah, I am trying to find something that I guess walks the line between being scary and not being so scary that I will suffer nightmares for a few days. I don't have Dead Space. I mean, I have a couple of games that might qualify. I will have to look. And I bet, you know what, Scorn is probably not as scary as my mind is hyping it up to be. It's just kind of freaky looking. So I'm probably making much ado about nothing. But like I said, it's kind of funny because there are certain like horror films I don't have a problem watching. Anything with the, let's say, the underworld movies, got no problem with that. Most zombie movies, got no trouble with that. Anything with vampires or werewolves, got no trouble with that. Oh, good, it's getting nice and dark, isn't it? my deal is I don't do well with horror that would be a little close to reality. So, like, there's no way I can watch the Saw movies. You know what? Bram Stoker's Dracula is a great movie. I honestly really like that one. So yeah, things like the Saw movies. Anything that depicts something that's a little too close to being real. Oh, hello. Sorry. Were you waiting for me here? Excuse me, Mr. Brutal. Come over here so I can kill you. Thanks. Alright. Thank you for not shooting me anymore since I killed your leader. Go kill something else. Yes. Come over here so I can kill you. Alright, we have Gustav to find. He's somewhere in this mess. You hear the kitty meowing? Let's see. Where are you, Gustav? Your name's not Gustav? Gustav owes Khajiit coins. I do hear kitty meowing. I got a question. This is actually a fairly serious question. Because I watch these YouTube videos on how to make better videos. And some of them say not to do an intro at all. Even a very short one. So if you watch any of my videos, it's my like 2.5 second intro, good, bad. Should I get rid of it and just jump right into it? Or do you like the fact that I start off with a quick, here's the channel. And hello, Jacob. Happy Sunday. Hope you've had a good weekend. And are you looking forward to the Halloween week ahead? Gustav, I have been looking for you. Khajiit says you owe him coins. You feel like you have a stomach bug? Yeah, that there's been some funk going around. I mean, I was sick a couple weeks ago. Neon from Clownfish TV was sick about the same time. Of course, now Geeky Sparkles has gotten whatever he had. No, you don't have to eat McDonald's for this one. Yeah, Geeky is down with whatever Neon had, which really sucks because he was down for a couple weeks. And actually, I think I might have recovered slightly faster than him, but it was a thing. You're eating soup and drinking Sprite. Well, that's good. Good to stay hydrated, and the Sprite will probably settle your stomach a little. And good evening, Sean Hall. Happy Sunday. How was your weekend, and are you ready for Monday and the Halloween week? So we need 2 more crawlers and a bunch of sickle flies, which we should be able to get out here. There's a fly working. You watched Halloween with your dad? Hey, that's pretty cool. That's a classic horror movie. Which one? The old classic or the remake? I think there was a remake. Or a quasi-remake of Halloween. He liked the first 2 movies, so the classics. Yeah, I don't think I really got into the Halloween movies. I did watch a couple of the Freddy movies, though. You like a short, well-made intro to the videos that makes it so it stands out, something recognizable I can associate with the creator. Okay. So that's one for I don't really notice intros, and one that says you do like a short intro. I mean, mine's just like 2 seconds introducing the channel. And I did recently change the sound for the intro. I was using a swoosh, but it just sounded so, I don't know. Wasn't me. So I always do a sound check when I start recording videos that I would typically cut out. But I had this one sound check one day when I was getting ready to start recording an episode of Skyrim. And I said, "Are we ready?" And the little cat companion I had decided to take that exact moment to meow. And I was so tickled pink by that. I decided to make it the sound for the intro. It was like Kitty answered me. You need 3 more flies. And these are some giant flies. I mean, they don't even look like flies. They look like giant mosquitoes. You had a cat? Wow. 27 years? That's pretty good. That's actually dang good. Because most cats usually live about 15 to 18 years. I mean, I've got one that is a little over 15 and a half years old now. And I'm hoping and praying that she'll last at least a couple more years. Although, we'll see. She's still pretty happy and fairly active for her age. So, it looks promising. But, yeah. That's... I mean, even for an indoor cat, that's extremely good. Alright, we need one more fly. Fly, fly, fly. Where's the fly? Ah, there we go. Okay. With all that done, we made a nice little loop around. We got everything done. And then we can go turn it all in. We'll start with you here. Oh, Nordic says you watched Dracula from 1981 last night. Now, I don't recall that one. But then I would have been like 10 years... Wait, oh, Dracula, excuse me, not 1981, 1931. So you're talking about the old black and white. Was that Bela Lugosi that was in that? I think that was his name, Bela Lugosi.
How can I be of service?
Okay, so. I missed what you asked. I hit the button on the keyboard and it kicked me out of the page. 1931 was Bela Lugosi. Okay, so I've seen it at some point. Clearly, because I can remember the name of the... Screw you! The name of the actor. Alright, we're gonna just pitch some of this stuff overboard. So I can make space for all this junk he's about to give me. I probably will need to pitch more stuff. Yes, I want to get rid of that. Thank you. All right, now, can I get my things? Oh, somebody else is out here doing the quest. Well, hello, random person. I hope you're having fun. Why can't I not just tell you to not give me this junk?
How can I be of service?
I do have a room. You're just too stupid to realize there's a space there. You have some videos covering crafting, perchance. Oh, you mean in the game? No, you know, nobody's ever asked me about that. I could certainly do a video on the basics of crafting, if you'd like. All right, what we got here? nothing useful, so I will just take what's worth the most, which actually happens to be that spear. Alright. In fact, we could probably do a little bit of a primer on crafting once I get back to Oscaruth. Okay, kitty. Poor ghostly kitty. You know what? I'm going to pretend kitty is just a live kitty, but it's got luminescent paint on it. There. That's better. We still got... Jesus. So much junk and so little bag space. Alright. So, back this way, and we do have to talk to those Earthkin on the way back, too. You know, this place, this spot, I used to get all turned around here. And it's not even that big a spot. It's just that it used to look all samey. So there was no real, like, landmarks to trigger my memory of where I was going. They've kind of improved the look of the Lonelands over the years. Now it's a little easier to figure out where you're going. Or maybe I've just also figured out where I'm going. And here are our new Earthkin friends. Alright, please don't give me a whole bunch of junk, because I have no space in my bags.
What brings you to this place? Greetings.
Oh, wow, he even leveled up from that. Woohoo!
Come with peaceful words.
Yes, but you're going to give me some junk. It figures. I mean, that bow, if I hadn't already bought a little bit of a bow on the AH, I would probably take that, but since I did, and the one I bought is slightly better, we'll just go with what will get me the most money after I figure out what I'm getting rid of. Get rid of that.
The Yorkin have need of your help.
Yeah, I have need of bag space. Can you do that for me? I know, I should stop complaining about it. I mean, I'm seriously considering popping a 3-month subscription on this so I can unlock bag space and get that extra 1,500 LOTRO points for things later. Alright, before we do anything else, let's see. Do I have anything in my bags that's enough to... tough sword sheaths, that's about the only thing. Excuse me, sir?
Greetings.
All right, there you go. That's some rep for me and some extra sword sheaths for the Egwene. Go ahead and make some money here. Get rid of this junk. Don't get rid of that because that is scholar supplies. I really should get rid of the pipeweed that he grew. No, keep that. That's cooking supplies. And we'll hold on to those because he's not high enough scholar level to do that. I'm afraid I will need to assess a fine on the discarding of the weed. You say you can't wait to play the game? Well, it is actually a relatively fun game. There's a lot to explore. And even for free to play, there's a ton of stuff to do between level 1 and level 95 that they've used to be. You had to buy a bunch of expansions, but now up to level 95, there's a lot of stuff to do. And then the newer expansions you would still have to buy, but you can also usually get them for LOTRO points. And if you wait for sales, they're usually rather cheap. And all you have to do is grind some deeds out in the world to get LOTRO points.
How may I help you?
All right, we've talked to you. Now, let's go talk to Frederick. Now we have a space for whatever he's going to give me. Could be a good idea, the tutorial video Sean is asking about. I think it's some of the most searched term alongside gameplay. It could help with introducing your channel to a new audience. Well, thank you. Okay. So that's two that are definitely interested in a tutorial. So I will, it might take me a little bit to work on one. Just making an assumption here. Can't say I know that much how YouTube works. Well, I mean, it couldn't hurt.
What do you need?
But at the same time, it's also, if somebody is requesting it, and this is something I can do, then I would certainly do it. I mean, after playing the game for so long, and especially since they have changed crafting recently, well, recently being within the past, what, year? It has changed to the point where, you know, maybe people who have even not played for a while who came back to the game might be a little confused.
Much has happened.
All right, so
Greetings, friend of the wild.
I'm going to hold off on this quest because my burglar friends aren't here, and perhaps they might want to join me in this instance when they can. Or, well, they can also join me with Harboreth too, which is my burglar. I'm just kind of having fun with Thormurn. Now, since he's pretty much done all he can do here at the moment, let's see, what do I have? Nickel Delving, Oscar Ruth, which is here, Thorns Hall. Let's head to Thorns Hall. Hey, if I change my mind and want to do that instance, I can head straight back to Oscar Ruth. It's easy. Great thing about having a hunter. Thorin Oakenshield. One of the greatest heroes of the dwarves. Although he was also a bit of an arrogant butthole. Hey, he was a dwarf after all. Oh, you know what I wanted to do first? And why don't I have my hunter speed on? Jeez. No wonder I'm going so slow. Oh, and I forgot I had stuff in there. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and destroy that. The architecture in actually all the Dwarven places is great. Moria is fantastic. I could always grab one of my higher level characters and we can take a look at Moria if you want. But let's see. First things first.
Well met.
We are going to pop some junk in here. You know what? We don't need to be carrying around all this pipeweed. We probably don't need this map to the party tree either. And I keep forgetting I have this Tome of Burst of Experience. It only lasts 30 minutes. Of course, I keep forgetting I have a lot of stuff in my bag. Isn't that horrible? I have these potions and stuff, and I hardly ever remember to use them. You're going to invite a few friends to the game. Hope they go for it. Well, I mean, it's free for them to try it out. If they like Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth, and they can forgive the fact that the graphics are, at this point, like 17, 18 years old, I think they would really enjoy it. All right, so here is the crafting hall for Thorin's Hall. So this guy, if I wanted to, I could join the Cook's Guild or the Scholars Guild. You're hungry? Oh, what are you eating? We're not ready to join a guild yet. Okay, I can't talk to you. Here's the scholar area, which he is a scholar. Runekeeper trainer. We don't need the trainers anymore. You're eating air right now. Okay, what are you thinking of eating? Master of Apprentices. All right, so you would talk to the Master of Apprentice, and you would pick your 3 crafting professions, which include cooking, farming, scholar, forester, jeweler, metalsmith, prospector, tailor, weaponsmith, or woodworker. Now, it used to be that you would have crafting profession bundles, and you would have 3 bundled together. Like the explorer would have prospecting. What would they had prospecting, forestry, and tailoring, I think. Or you had the cook that would have farming, cooking, and I can't remember what the third one was. But this year, I believe it was earlier this year, they actually unlinked all of the crafting professions. So now you can literally pick the 3 you want to choose. In this case, in Thormurn's case, I chose farming and cooking because those go hand in hand. And for the third one, I chose him to be a scholar because some of the stuff you get from farming, you can use in your scholaring, like making dye, for making dyes. But other combinations that I think would be pretty good would be forester, woodworker, and probably tailor, because tailor makes medium armor, which would make use of the forestry skill, because forestry is woodwork, wood and fur. And the guy walked off on me. Excuse me. Or you could pick prospecting, metalsmith or weaponsmith, and jeweler. Or prospecting, weaponsmith, and metalsmith. So say if you had a heavy armor class character, if you chose prospecting, weaponsmith, and metalsmith, you could gather your ore, process your ore, make your heavy armor, and make whatever sword or axe you might want to use for that character. And make your shields too. So that would be an awesome combination for something like a guardian. But yeah, now that y'all have mentioned that, it might be... can you make a quad 50? No. No, you cannot, Nordic. They don't even have... The closest thing they have to a gun in this game is catapult and a trebuchet. But yeah, now that I think about it, it might be a real good idea. Not only just an intro to the crafting, but some of the crafting combos that would be good and for what class. So thank you for that suggestion. Quad catapult and quad trebuchet. Have you seen... You haven't seen the size of the catapults and trebuchets. They don't need to be quads. Oh, one of them is gonna... Like, if you get hit by an arrow from a trebuchet, you're just going to be like a fly being splattered all over the windshield. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I did not realize that I have not done, get back over here, the introduction to my crafting professions. Why have one when you get 4 for the same price?
You have come at a most fortuitous time.
Alright, so we need to speak with the novice scholar, the novice farmhand, and the novice cook. Well, here's the novice scholar.
Greetings.
I've been provided with a crate of ingredients. You're sitting next to a dehumidifier. Actually, I need a humidifier in here. It's been kind of dry lately. What am I making? Minor scholar lore. Minor scholar lore, right here. Alright. So this is just like... These are just like the... Okay, this is how you're going to do this crafting stuff. Just the bare basics.
Well met.
And we have finished his. Now we have to find the cook, which is over here. I'm in Colorado and it's pretty dry now. Yeah, I'm pretty dry where I'm at too. And it's not usually this dry. Cup of spring barley flour. All right, so that's under cooking. Ingredients. Cup of spring barley flour. They give you just enough of the basic ingredients to do this once. And to, I guess you could say, get your feet wet. Cook a hard biscuit. Oh, excuse me. Cooked food, hard biscuit. But at least they give you the ingredients. So you're not running around trying to figure out where you get everything. Make a script for the video before you record it, just saying, I love looking up tutorial videos, but one is confusing and frustrating and all over the place. Okay, that is actually very good advice. Oh, no problem. But like I said, I will work on a video that goes over the basics of crafting. Okay. That is actually very useful advice and feedback. Thank you, George. I do appreciate hearing what people like and dislike, and especially if I'm going to work on something I don't normally do, like a tutorial. So it just gives me an idea of what people expect to see. Because I don't mind a little bit of rambly. I mean, obviously not like a ton of it. Now, for farming, we have to go over here. And they've got this little area that is just for farming at Thormurn's Hall. And it's kind of open to the sky. But I guess we'll guard it.
Well met.
All right, I have all the ingredients I need to make a yellow onion. So we're going to go over here to farming vegetables. Yellow onion field. There's a couple steps for the farming. So you start off by planting your crop, which you can plant up to 5 at a time. Once you're done planting it, you can harvest it. That's step 1. Step 2, you go to the workbench, which there is usually one near farming areas. And now you have to turn that crop into onions. I shall be back in about 20-ish minutes. Must be going to make something to eat. Okay. Enjoy. And because he's already mastered the apprentice level, he has a chance of critting and getting extra crops. So, well, I'm thinking about it because we do want a concise but instructive video on crafting. We want an introduction. A synopsis of each crafting profession. All right, I don't know if synopsis is the right word. I'm writing this down. Actually, on pen on paper. who to talk to. Although there is a crafting quest that will take you to the person you need to talk to, but we'll still say who to talk to pick your crafting professions. Which you can pick up. You can pick 3. Professions that work well together. And professions that might suit different classes. Okay. I mean, in what way do you activate track crop skills? I missed a step. All right. Ha, I've already done that part. Oh no. Hold on. See, I messed up. I did not follow the steps. So I need one of those. 1 bucket of water. Where's my bucket of water? Right there. 1 handful of fertilizer. All right. I mean, you can make all the different weapons. So I believe it's the jeweler that makes the runekeeper stones. The woodworker would make the lore master staves. The scholar can make various scrolls, potions, and enhancement items. Oh yes, the jeweler can also make hope tokens, which increase your hope in certain situations. And it used to be that you could make legendary weapons. I don't think you can anymore, but I would have to double check that. So let's add to this list. What can each profession make? And look up to see if we can still make legendary items. I used to play Dark Ages at Camelot. There was a lot going back and forth getting materials for crafting. There is a lot of crafting tiers and a lot of crafting materials. So that's pretty much the same in any MMO, RPG, or survival game. Maybe a little less in this game than like a survival game, because I've been playing a ton of Enshrouded, kind of, my friend Gus has been enthralled with Enshrouded lately, so we've been playing that instead of Valheim. And the crafting in that game is pretty extensive.
Well met.
All right, so he's happy with what I have done, and I have ended up with the LOTRO star, which is not what I wanted to do. I've got a couple of cups of spring barley flour. We have a scroll of minor scholar lore, and we've got 32 yellow onions, which is probably twice as much as I was intended to make. Now, I've written down some notes on what I should include in the crafting tutorial. Is there anything specific you would like me to touch on in such a video?
What do you want?
Put that stuff away. Oh, and this pipeweed isn't just for looks. You can actually smoke it. So if I right click, you see Thormurn has pulled out his pipe, and he is happily enjoying his hobbit pipeweed. And I think this particular one, yeah, you get a puff of smoke in the middle and 2 rings that go out to either side. And the different pipeweeds actually have different smoke ring effects, all the way up to a really fancy one that you can blow out a small dragon. Okay, there used to be, I will have to look and see if they do still have those, but I will put that down. Are there important quests? That would be helpful in crafting. Yeah, you little yellow belly deserter. Odin probably had the reason to arrest Warren. How on you? It's been ages since you played Valheim. Well, like I said, I got Gus enshrouded for either Christmas or his birthday, and he's just really been enthralled with the game. But don't worry, we will get back to Valheim, and I will start letting him know that, hey, there are some people that are saying, where's our Valheim? Where's our Valheim? and see if we can't work out something where maybe we do alternating between Enshrouded and Valheim or something like that. But it might be a couple more weeks, because like I said, he is really liking Enshrouded right now. An important quest that would be helpful towards crafting. But yeah, bring up whatever questions you might have related to crafting, and I will write them down, and I will work on an outline, a rough outline of what should be in the video, and then I will flesh out that outline into a script and work on that. I don't know how long that will take me, because I do this when I can. but I will definitely work on it. All right. Okay. You know what? Let's go look for some scholar mats, shall we? Because Thormurn has gotten his apprentice level up for farming. And, oh yeah, I did want to talk about proficiency and mastery of each crafting skill. But I will give you the short and skinny of it. You become proficient at a crafting skill. That allows you a chance at critting, which might either, in the case of cooking, be better food or more of it. In farming, you might have a better chance of getting the special items or getting more crops. Scholar is pretty much the same. What mastery does, mastery unlocks the ability to get mastery for the next level. So if you only do proficiency, you will stop at proficiency on all the levels, and you will not be able to get mastery of any until you get mastery of the first one, and then you get mastery of the next one. So that's how that works. I'm going to have to explain that better in a video, but yeah, that's basically the skinny of it. We'll go to Kellendom. Although I don't think there's a whole lot of scholar nodes there. We can start there. Get on a horse or a moose in this case. I still say this is a nice looking mount. It's definitely one of the better ones. We'll look at it once it's a little brighter out, because starlight might be nice for the elves. It is not nice to see anything. And Miss Medrill's... I could just hear Miss Medrill in the background going, "Excuse me?" I don't see the harm on looking up and getting a general idea of what structure a tutorial video can have. There sure is a lot of them out there you can study, wink wink. That's true. I can look at some other tutorials and see kind of what format they tend to take. And that can help inform me on how I should set up the outline. But, of course, I don't want to copy anybody else's SH right out. So I would probably just get an idea of how it works and then do it in my own style. So if that makes sense. It made sense to me. Of course, a lot of things make more sense in my head than they do coming out of my mouth. Alright. Yay, we don't have to worry about getting attacked by anything. Woohoo! Might be better to head to the swamp outside Bree. But we're here. Thorn. Thorn. Mouthful. Bam Galere. There's usually at least one, if not two. There's one. So, for the scholar, they're very base item is like the shattered pitcher. Breland. There's actually some nice there's a new starting area. It is, hold on. It's part of the Before the Shadow Pack. And I believe they did recently make that free for everyone. So it would be something everyone can do, or should be able to do. I will double check. We'll look at the map here. Not beyond Undershire, Breland, Kellendam, Thorin's Hall. This is Arid Loon we're in. Swanfleet and Cardolan. So, I believe the new intro area starts you in Swanfleet at Mossward. I want to say Mossward. And then you do a bunch of quests in Western in Swanfleet and a little bit in Western Aragion. Oh, well, I'm sure they would love to hear that. You say that it's awesome, the map. Now, fun fact, there's no gating between an area that you can handle the mobs and an area where the mobs are over your level. So, here we have Swanfleet. But if you go too far this way, you might find yourself in a Dwarf, which is like level 60 to 65, I think. Definitely not a place you want to take your level 5 character. Or, if you go up too far this way, you end up in Aragion, which is like the level 45 to 55, if I remember right. Again, not exactly the place you want to take your level 5 character. Oh yeah, you'll be going, yeah, oh, I'm getting out of here. But once you've done the Swanfleet side, then you head over to the Cardolan end. Now, the Cardolan end also connects to the Trollshaws. Again, not exactly the place you want to take a low-level character. The Lonelands, you might survive a little longer there by that point, because you're probably in the 12 to 15, maybe even a little higher at that point. So Lonelands would be tough, but doable. And Breland. Oh, and apparently also the Shire. So Cardolan connects to quite a number of places, and it's kind of nice that you have this interconnectivity between this new zone, which was like a year or two ago, and all the other places on the map. They did a really good job blending it together. I definitely give them a whole bunch of props for that. There is player housing. You have your basics, and since we are on the elven side of Arid Loon, we will take a quick detour and go check out the base elven housing, which actually is the only elven housing right now. But yeah, you have basic housing. You have housing outside of Thorn's Hall for the dwarves. You have housing for the elves, which we're heading to right now. You have housing outside of Bree, kind of towards the Lonelands, which is the man housing. And you have housing outside of Mickle Delving, which is, of course, the hobbits. Now, that's the base housing in the game. They did start adding premium housing, which you need to use either mithril coins or housing writs, which you purchase with mithril coins, to get those houses. So, paid housing. Now, if you're like me and you've stored up a bunch of LOTRO points from your years of playing, then you don't have a problem getting that. So I do have a Rohirrim house, which is actually a mead hall. I have a Gondorian house. And I have a house in the Yondershire. So that's, Rohirrim is clearly man. Gondorian is also a man. Yondershire is hobbit. There's also another dwarf housing, which is, I cannot remember exactly where it is, except somewhere in Erebor. I think currently my favorite of the premium housing is the Yondershire one. Or not, it's not even Yondershire, is it? It's, we'll look. After I'm done here, we'll head to the housing broker in Bree, where you can meet all of the house brokers, because they put them all in a room in one place. Wait a second. We're going the right way, right? I feel like we might have taken a wrong turn. Yeah, we need to go back a little bit. All right, we will take a look at the basic Thormurn housing, which is outside Thorn's Hall, and the premium Dwarven housing. All right, so here is the entrance to the Elven housing, and we will pick a random neighborhood because these are instanced. And you can tell a lot of people over time have bought houses in these neighborhoods. Although I guarantee there's probably some vacancies at this point. We'll pick the first one because why not? And it says you have entered a housing neighborhood. The houses here can be or already have been purchased by players or kinships. All right, so this is the Elven neighborhood. We have a little house here. Now that looks like one of the small houses. Oh, and we can go in. Okay, so they have not locked us out. Wow. They love the Harvest Festival because this is a lot of stuff from the Harvest Festival down here. Samwise Gamgee, loyal attendant. Okay. So they have a Samwise in here. And then up here they have a Seer's Arb. Yes, a kinship is like a guild. So I think that's pretty much it for the small house. You have a downstairs area, and then you go upstairs and you have a small upstairs room. Oh, I've never seen that before. Blazon of the Great Alliance. Minimum level 115. You must have completed quest chapter 11.2, the same as you. Oh, interesting. Okay. I like looking at the houses just because I get to see some decorations that I don't usually see. Anniversary keg, huh? Drinking this brandy may not be the safest thing you could do. Okay, so this is one of those kegs that will, you get drunk and you end up somewhere else. We're not going to do that right now. Now, this should be a deluxe house. Let's see if they will let us in. Nope, do not have permission to use that. So, they do not allow people to go into their house. There is some furniture you can craft for your home. The scholar can make certain things. I think paintings and such. The woodworker can make some things. Oh yes, the scholar can also make floor paints and wall paints. So yeah, there are, I think the tailor can make rugs. That's a small house. Let's see if you let people in. No. Another person that does not let people in. Okay. We might not get to see a deluxe house unless we find one for sale. Oh, I believe we found one. So, here's the deluxe house, and we're ice skating at the moment. So we're going to have to wait until we're not ice skating. And we have a destroyed model of Minas Tirith right in the front room. Minas Tirith is quite the very nice city in the game. And we have somebody who enjoys doing different content. Oh, they've got all the kegs in here. They also do instances. They've done the whole Angmor quest chain. Whoa, I don't know what that wall covering is. I've never seen that before. Okay, now I'm gonna have to find out what that is. And go upstairs. Again, we have a room up here, which they have turned into a bedroom with a mixture of hobbit, human, and elf furniture. Oh, and a portrait of the Grey Company. So they've gotten at least past Dunland. I know no house is complete without kegs. Well, some of these kegs, like I said, you drink out of them, you get woozy, you end up in places you maybe don't want to be. So this has got a big room. Then we have a small room off of each side of the big room. And then you go upstairs and you've got a small room up there. So it's actually a very nice house. Pretty decent layout too. And like I said, he's got a whole ton of trophies. So he might just let people into his house to show off what he's got. I think the only thing we have not seen yet is a kinship house. Let's see if I can even remember where a kinship house is here. That's not a kinship house. That is a small house. That's a deluxe. There's all sorts of housing items you can also get through festivals, through questing. So you end up with a lot more stuff to decorate with than you have housing hooks. And one of the things I'm kind of hoping is they will expand on the number of housing hooks. Home of... I don't think that's a kinship house. Home of my kin. Well, that's clearly a kinship house. Now, big question, can we go in it? Nope, we can't. All right. But it does, and there are actually 2 servers that are roleplay servers. This being one of them. This is the European server Lonelands. The other one being the US server Landerville. So we can't go on this one, but you can see the sheer size of this. It has multiple rooms. It's actually a very nice looking house. No lie, the elven housing is nice. I don't have any elven housing anymore. I have had it in the past. I mainly have houses in Breland, and then I have Rohan, Gondor, and the premium Hobbit housing. I do like these little areas would be fantastic to role play some sort of a ceremony or a meeting. There have even been role play weddings. And this is your central hub for your housing, which will have your supplier and provisioner, your forge master, healer, housing furniture. It depends on the house.
Greetings, friend. How may...
So here you can see some things you can buy at this housing furniture. He's got... Oh yes, you can actually change the music inside your houses too with music boxes. So you can get a couple different elven themed music boxes here. Wall paints, decorative floors, decorative walls, elven stairs, floral tile floor, wall and floor paint. And the recipes for the large dragonfly rug decoration, which, requires a tailor, artisan tailor to be specific. Here's a rug that requires journeyman tailor. So that's something else I should add to housing items. What class makes them, or what profession makes them. Where to get the recipes. And what level the profession has to be at to make them. I assume it's not just a one-time payment to just buy the house. You do have housing upkeep. Used to be a real pain in the butt because you'd have to make sure you paid your housing like every week or two. But they have changed that so you could pay up something like 4-5 months in advance. All right, so let's go to our far-ranging, go to our far-ranging stables.
Greetings, friend.
And we can go to, we could go straight from here to the Breland homesteads. We also can go straight to the Erebor homesteads. Thorn Hall homestead, we could go straight there. Yeah, I've noticed that's several games. In fact, I wonder if ESO was that way, or if I don't have a house in ESO. I just have a inn room. So, well, would y'all like to see the Thorn Hall homestead? I mean, we could pretty much go to okay. We will go to Thorn's Hall next. Where was that? Thorn Hall Homesteads. Swift travel. Now that you didn't used to be a thing. So this swift travel between homesteads is actually a very nice addition. And we're once again going to go with the first one, because why not? And it's kind of inside the mountain, if you can tell. So here we have a little house. I would not even droggy, whatever. Droggy something. Right, so little bitty house. We got a front room here. Now, I will admit, the Thorns Hall housing and the Breland housing have somewhat similar layouts. So then we have a back room here, which we have a Swan Fleet map table, which is kind of halfway in the wall there, but kind of neat looking. Couple of decorations, including a Barghast trophy. Hilt of the Silent Hunter. Okay, sad. I don't want to see dead kitty cat on the floor. Settee of the Silent Hunter. Now that's better. Kitty cat sleeping. I don't mind that. Oh yeah, and there's fishing in the game. And if you get some nice fish, you can take them to the taxidermist and turn them into trophies. You can also get some nice trophies from doing fishing deeds. Oh yeah, pig in a blanket, which was an anniversary thing, I think. And if you watch the pig, he's dreaming. So he's dreaming about, I guess, his farmer human. And he's snoring too. He's dreaming about quest rings. Okay. But yeah, kind of cute. I'm also looking to see if I can't find a house that is for sale, so we can look at the price, which for these houses is gold that you earn in the game. Lots of statues of Thorn Oakenshield. Maybe even a couple of the other dwarves. I don't know. I'm actually hitting all the neighborhoods that have full housing. I'm kind of surprised. Oh yes, another thing they added to the housing is task collection boards. So if you wanted to, you could take your task items to the board each day and turn them in right here instead of having to go to whatever area. And this is your main hub for Thorn's Hall. It's got your housing furniture.
Of what help may I be to you?
And some other stuff. We got some wall hangings. We have different music. More wall and floor paint. Blue Dwarf make foyer steps. Some decorative multicolored stone floor. Walls. Watch post. Dwarf watch post, Thorn's Hall. Dwarf make bench. So yeah, you have different stuff at each of the different housing vendors. Here's a Dwarf make table decoration that requires the apprentice woodworker to make. So that's another crafting recipe. But yeah, you also have things I forgot to mention. I think I mentioned the Forge Master, but somewhere around here is... where is he? There's a Vault Keeper around here somewhere. No, that's a Supplier and Provisioner. Vault Keeper. So you also have vault access in your neighborhood. Alright, that is a small house. Fully decked out. That is a big giant glowing crystal right in our face. This is a kinship house. And we don't have permission to use it, so we can't go inside. But it is pretty big. And as you can see, it's kind of carved into the side of the mountain. I'm batting zero finding anything that's for sale. No worries. Skidvatser? Some of these names are just a mouthful. But then, what am I saying? I'm sure not everybody knows how to pronounce Medriel. Oh, no problem. I do not mind. As always, if anybody has a question about something or they want to see something in the game, I'm certainly happy to do a tour around. This is kind of a nice little private looking house. Home of Bloody Paws. But yeah, it's got that wall in the front. Now that, yeah. Okay, I think that wall is part of the set decoration and not something that they added themselves. Home of the Pipes are calling, another kinship house. All right, let's see. Nope, can't go in that one either. But once again, you can see it's a pretty extensive place carved into the mountain. Always thought that was a neat detail that they built into excuse me. So sorry about that. The choking on my tongue is not a good thing. But always thought it was neat that they literally built inside the mountain. So I'm wondering if it's like just a completely hollowed out mine that they converted into housing or what. At least that's what I imagine. This looks like it's probably a mid-size house. You got a nice view down there. It is definitely very dwarven feeling. I don't know of a single other race that would literally live inside the mountain. Okay, this dwarf really likes elves. Why not ask for a little house showcase in the in-game chat? It could work getting an invitation. Perhaps another time, because we are about 20 minutes out from being over. And the chances of people actually being on is probably pretty low. Another... Oh, what's this? Oh, a Dol fountain. Now that's a fancy big old Gondorian fountain from Dol Amroth. There's also a really beautiful swan fountain, which you get from doing Lothlorien, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Huh. A little old man willow. So it's a miniature version of the old man willow, which is near Tom Bombadil's house. Fox among the flowers. That's cute. Wonder where that came from. Probably doing some quests in North Lothlorien. Well, maybe another night when we're not doing too much on Thormurn, I might hit up chat and see if anybody's willing to showcase one of their houses. That might be a good idea. Oh, and yeah, I guess you could see there are some, there's kind of a waterway here, too. Which they have kindly provided us stairs up in case we fall down into the water. Alright, so back to our four ranging stables. Let's head to Bree. Because I did promise to show y'all where all the housing brokers are. So we're gonna go. Really? Closest thing we can get to is the Breland Festival grounds. Fine. close enough. Oh, well, it's not me cutting it. I would have to anyway because it's Sunday and I usually don't get a chance to eat until after the stream. But I actually don't mind running around looking at the housing while we're here. Excuse me. Can I get my tokens now?
Hello, friend. Can I help you with something?
Yeah. Here's a pumpkin for... Oh, 2 tokens. Thank you. Appreciate you. Goodbye. Go to Bree. And we'll be at the West Bree Gate, which is right there. And of course, this is Bree Town. Got your vault over there. Got some crafting here. You go up that way, you've got your farmlands for farming. And that big building at the end of the road, that is the Prancing Pony. It tends to be where, at least it used to be where a lot of roleplay started. I don't know about anymore. It's been a long while since I did roleplay. Good evening, Miss Bella and all. Big apologies for being MIA live stuff. Hope everyone's been well. Yes. Happy Sunday to you, Flower. And I hope things are going well with you. And I do understand that you've got life. I figure when you're ready, or if you have the time, we will continue questing together. I'm not worried. In the meantime, here's Thormurn, who has gone from having a good time in the Lonelands to having a good time doing a quick tour of housing in the game. We've just looked at the Elven housing and the Thorns Hall Dwarf housing, and we're going to go find the broker's office, which is right here. And we just entered on our horse because, of course, we did. So here's all... You know this place has got to be hot and a little stinky with all these people in here. I'm sorry, but wow. So we have the Cape of Belfalis housing. That is Gondor. The Rohan Eastfold housing broker. Here's the Mickle Delving housing broker. The Erebor housing broker. The Lindleby housing broker. That's the other Hobbit housing area. Lindleby. Breland housing. Duland housing, which is the elf housing we've already looked at. Thorns Gate housing, which we were just at. And the Rohan Kingstead housing. So we can actually talk to any of these people and get a tour of houses. Now, Sean, you seem to be most interested in dwarf housing. Would you like to see the premium version of dwarf housing at Erebor? I can't guarantee I won't get lost in there, but yeah, okay. So we can...
Of what help may I be to you?
Let's see what we've got. I'm looking for one that has a variety of houses open. Is any... here's a neighborhood that has a little everything open. So we'll pick that one. And I'm looking for a particular house. I think it might be the stately house, which is yeah, this is the most unique house in this neighborhood. So we are going to take a tour of that first. Mind what you say about we dwarves. Howdy, LOL Bella Stinky House. I wonder if dwarves smell like metal and smoky. Could be nice. Oh, they probably do, but I meant that just this small room with all these people in it definitely has to smell bad. Because that's a lot of warm bodies in a small space. And I don't know. To me, it just seems like it would smell like a locker room. All right, let us tour this house. This one is actually for sale even. I think this is the right one. Maybe not the right one, but it is a nice house. It is also unique. Thormurn is wearing a cloak. I did get it from the Harvest Festival. It's the cloak of the Autumn Sage. Dwarfs smell like the earth. Now this one is actually for sale. It's a stately house. It costs 600 mithril or 24 housing writs to purchase. Upkeep cost is 1 gold a week, unless you are VIP, and then you don't have to pay upkeep. I cannot purchase this because I certainly do not have enough mithril or housing writs to buy it, but we're going to go look at it because, oh, it is the right house. Okay. That, like I said, this is the most unique house in this area because we open up from a nice, almost park-like area into this cave full of precious gems. Well, mostly quartz. So, right off the bat, it is super unique. Quite the entrance. It is the most unique house here. I suppose if I were to get one, I might get this one just because of how unique it is. So we go in, we got this giant hall, a lot of green. I don't know why they chose to use so much green, but we have a main hall. We've got a room here. And when we've got another big room here. And then we go in here, and again, very unique to this one house. And I think there's only one of these houses in each neighborhood. We've got this small cavern with the glowing crystals and a little bit of a pool around it. Very unique. Then we have another room back here. Nice sized room. But it keeps going. We do have, I think we have a space under here even. Yeah, we got a little bitty room under here. It is, but it can be a little much. I love the color green. I love green. I love aqua. And teal, obviously. You know, you can tell by my character. I like teal and purple. And up here we have another space with this unique crystal structure. But it does get a little much in this neighborhood. I feel like they could have balanced the green a tiny bit more. So yeah, nice big stairs going up, couple more rooms. This is a nice size house. It is a bit on the pricey side, like I said. But it feels a little claustrophobic to me living in a cave. I guess it don't have much dwarf blood. Give me a nice open meadow and I'm happy. I hath returned, mortals, bask in my holy glory, for I shall illuminate the path before you. I am indeed full of shite. So, our last look at this house. I mean, for a cave, it's pretty spacious. I think I could handle this much better than, like, some cramped cave where you just barely have enough room to stand up and stretch. Let's see. Am I near this housing instance also has a rather unique feature that is woefully underutilized. See if I can find it. You can see this. This is a gigantic housing, a gigantic cave. You could put all of the Thorn's home housing in this like 4 times over. Oh yeah, here it is. So, when they made this housing, they added a giant chessboard. If you had enough people, you could get together and play a live version game of chess. But like I said, it is woefully underutilized. I don't think I've ever even heard anybody in chat calling for a chess game. I imagine this is something you might do with a large kinship. But, yeah. There's a giant chessboard here. There's plenty of places for people to sit and watch. Oh, and yeah, we'll take a look down. It's very, very far, far down here. We would die if we fell over. But if you see all that yellow at the bottom, that's not pee. That's gold. Lots and lots and lots of gold. So let's see if I can find the stairs down or if I'm going to go down the hard way. Right there. I would prefer not to go down the hard way. My dad tried to teach me chess, and I understand some of the basics, but I'm not by any means good at it. I was much better at checkers. Looking for more stairs. There are lots of stairs here. Tons and tons of stairs. And as you can tell, tons and tons of green. So you can understand what I'm saying by there's a little too much green in this. So, here we are. Like I said, this is a whole river of gold coins. And guess what? You can swim in it. If you ever wanted to swim in money, like Scrooge McDuck, here's your chance. A gold swimming pool. Yep, gold swimming pool. Okay, now I have DuckTales theme in my head. You know what? DuckTales was a fantastic little cartoon. Yes, you can swim in it. And you can even see the little coins bouncing as he swims. Yeah, Chippendale Rescue Rangers was good too. Saw a documentary about AI playing a guy from Korea. Oh, you mean playing chess? So, other than the color scheme being a little too green for my taste, someone tell Thormurn to stop swimming in my treasure hoard. Hey, this is dwarven treasure. Go find your own Khajiit treasure. But yeah, aside from the sheer amount of green in this, which the game seems to love, this is a pretty awesome neighborhood. Why go in search of treasure when treasure hath been found before me? It's huge. Like I said, you can put the Thorns Hall housing in here like 3 or 4 times comfortably. And we even have giant... they're not full-on statues. I don't know what... busts? Giant bust of Durin the Deathless. That's probably the most impressive part of it, to me. You didn't know dwarves had giant busts? Well, the thing about dwarven females is you don't know they're female. They sound very much like their male counterparts. They look very much like their male counterparts, to the point where sometimes even male dwarves can't tell if they're female. And they tend to stay close to home. Well protected, because I believe they're pretty rare. Did I mention there are a lot of stairs? Dwarves love stairs. We're still going up. Still going. These stairs are the Energizer Bunny. Yeah. I wouldn't be climbing them, though. Not in real life. I don't see a single railing to hold on to. And that's a big no-no for me. So we have a passage to crafting and vendors here, which I think takes us actually out into Erebor proper. Might not. If it does, might be a little bit of a problem, because it's definitely well above Thormurn's level. Got to keep those thighs of stone. Yeah, I wish. I'm not 20 anymore. But I am working on changing that. Now, if I don't think this is the one I think it is. Oh, wait. for sale sign. This is the kinship house. All right, I'm supposed to be finishing now, but we will take a couple more minutes to look at this one. This one is hella expensive. This costs 1,000 mithril coins or 40 housing writs and 5 gold a week upkeep unless you're VIP, and then the upkeep is waived. So it's an expensive house, but it is the kinship house. And it comes with its own personal pool of gold to swim in. Yeah, it's expensive. Flower knows for certain that that's not cheap. I would be waiting for a huge sale on mithril to even consider getting this. Well, the other one we looked at with all the crystal was 600, so it wasn't cheap either. But this does have its own private gardens, its own private gold swimming pool. I remember when the game gifted players free mithril for messing up. Was it only like 100 mithril? It was, can't remember how much. Well, I think he's asking how much does that mithril cost. So give me a second. We will head over here and we will take a look. Got the big, huge courtyard here. We'll pause here. All right, you want to find out, you want to know how much. The one with the crystal was 600 mithril. All right, so what's our specials? Oh, look, bare-chested dwarf. I don't think so. Thormurn ain't sitting there thumping his chest like that. We got some cosmetics on sale. Oh, okay. Y'all talking to each other. I thought I'd missed some conversation. All right. Just a bunch of cosmetics on sale. So I'll have to check next week to see what's... I'm actually hoping bag space will go on sale. Oh, cosmetic outfits are on sale. Still 372 LOTRO points. You don't need it that badly. All right. Mithril coins. So this house is 1,000 mithril coins. So 250 mithril coins cost 2,000 LOTRO points. A 100 mithril coins cost 850 LOTRO points. Now, what is this coffer? Limit 1 per account. Rakish cosmetics for all your characters, shared storage, and a coffer filled with 1,250 mithril coins costs 9,995 LOTRO points. The Rakish Patron Enhanced Coffer includes Rakish cosmetics for all your characters and a coffer with 625 mithril. So let's see. We have 250 mithril coins for 2,000 LOTRO points. So in order to do the conversion, we have to go and see how much LOTRO points cost. If you're not, of course, saving them up for doing deeds. All right. We need it. Let's go back. Because I've already forgotten. We would need 4 packs of that mithril coin. So we would need 8,000 LOTRO points. Well, a pack of 8,850 LOTRO points, which is 3,750 plus an extra 5,100, cost you $60. Like I said, premium housing is expensive. But I had a bunch of LOTRO points. It is expensive. Because I'd been VIP for like 15 years and I hadn't had to buy much of anything with my LOTRO point. I had enough LOTRO points that I converted while mithril was on sale and I was able to buy the premium housings I have. I would not buy them at full price. This is definitely one of those times I insist you wait for a sale on either mithril coins or on housing writs. And that you grind as much LOTRO point via deeds in the game to decrease any expenditure you might have. Because as Flower said, it's expensive. As Nordic says, it's a ripoff and highway robbery. As much as I do like this fancy housing, I think I would just like to ask Sanding Stones if they were off their rocker. I understand they have to make money to keep the game open, because if they weren't making money, EG7 would probably just have them shut it down, which would absolutely suck. I hate games that charge you real world money for things in the game. Well, unfortunately, there is the standard housing. All right. This is probably one of the biggest houses you're going to see. So we got a little room. We got a big main hall. We got a little room here. We got a little room here. We got a cough here. Yeah, with patience. Because I had a friend who had not spent a cent on the game, and yet through deeds was able to unlock a large, actually pretty much the whole game. Got another little room here. With a little kind of I don't know what this is supposed to be. It looks nice. Go back this way. This almost feels like a stage back here. Maybe you hold Ken Hall meetings, and whoever doesn't fit inside there just mills about here. Go upstairs. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, this room is nice, no lie. I'm signing up for subscription to support the game. No microtransactions for me. Okay, so with a subscription, you will get 500 LOTRO points a month. And you can save those up. And between that and deeds, you should and waiting for sales, because that is, like I said, I insist you wait for a sale for mithril coins or housing writs. You should be able to get a house. Of course, I do like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, but I tend to flame out after a bit without actually beating the game. We got here. Speaking of which, you weren't upset that I chose to play some ESO the other night, were you, Nordic? I know you weren't feeling good to begin with, so I know there was that. But I did wonder if, since I wasn't playing Morrowind, it was a little disappointing. Although I basically wanted to compare ESO with the other Elder Scroll games I'd been playing. Big giant balcony up here that overlooks the courtyard. You're in it for the RP and crafting. Well, your definitely best bet is Lonelands or Lanterville. Lonelands always tended to have the slightly more serious role play, although, like I said, it's been a while, so I don't know how it is now. Not at all. Friday evening was a bad evening. Got into a really bad fight with someone I live with and was in a very depressed mood. I wasn't good company. Well, I am sorry to hear that. It always sucks when you have interpersonal issues. Little bitty room back here. Maybe not so little bitty. I would put the L room back here. Put the kegs under the stairs. Put a couple of tables. Be a great little tavern. Be a nice little bedroom here. Or turn this whole downstairs into a tavern, you know? I require one of those rooms for my game room. Set up a couple ping pong tables there. Hey, you know what? A man cave with a nice big TTRPG gaming table and a small bar with a selection of a couple of fine spirits and maybe a keg. I'm off. Thanks, Bella, for all you've done tonight. Nice meeting you all. Well, Sean, thank you for being here, and thank you for the conversation and the suggestion. I've written down my notes on what I can potentially put in a tutorial video, so I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your evening and a happy Monday. All right. Then we've got this downstairs area, which is underneath, I believe. No, it's over. It's still over. It's just a lower balcony area. Oh, I love soup. What kind of soup? A nice view out onto the hall, too. All of these spaces, I believe, are decoratable. Oh, and speaking of which, since I have you here, Flower, a couple of the gentlemen have requested a crafting tutorial for LOTRO. And since you do know LOTRO about as well as I do, what would you think would be some good points to cover in such a video. I do have some notes I've jotted down on what I should add to a video, but maybe I've missed something. Chicken broth with potato and veggies. Celery, carrot, broccoli. That sounds pretty good. I actually make a really nice chicken rice soup that's got cauliflower, broccoli, and carrot in it. Because I do love broccoli. So one more look at this sign. So, worst person to ask, 14 years playing, can't get into crafting. Oh, that's true. I do get, I'm not going to be impolite on stream. Let's just say issues from broccoli, but I love broccoli so much. Love broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, onion, turnips. I mean, I eat most vegetables. So, this house offers 183 interior decoration hooks, 20 interior lighting hooks, 78 exterior hooks with access to shared housing storage. You eat onions despite them being rough, or so they say it's rough. So, as expensive as this is, how do I put this politely? Is definitely for people who have a lot of LOTRO points like me who have saved them over the years. Or whales. Alright, let's head back to Bree. We can do that via Mickle Delving. But no, I mean, have you ever had any questions you wanted answered about crafting that would make it feel like something you might want to do? Because so far, here's what I have written down. Need an introduction for a tutorial video, a synopsis of each crafting profession, who to talk to pick your professions, which you can pick up to 3 of, professions that work well together, profession sets that might suit different classes, what each profession can make, and of course I have to look up and see if we can still make legendary items, and if there are any important quests that would be helpful towards questing, and also proficiency and mastery, and what housing items each profession can make, and where to find recipes for those housing items. That's what I have written down as potential to put into a tutorial video. So if that triggered any questions you might have, let me know. I will write them down and see if that's something I can also add to a crafting video. There's a player named Alex the Idiot in Crick Hollow. He took me on a tour of his dwarven kin home. It was amazing. Each room had its own theme from each game expansion. It was so well done. That actually sounds pretty impressive. Unfortunately, my houses are a bit of a mess right now because I haven't bothered updating them in a while. I should start working on that. Go to each of my houses and do some redecorating and theming and make them look nicer. And maybe I can even convince Gus to help me. Who knows? Could do a series and call it Miss B's House Restoration. We'll see. We'll see. That might be a little much. But, all right. I'll consider it and see if it's within a realm of possibility. All right, back at the broker's office. Of course, you know, we were talking about crafting, so let's go back to the crafting hall. I would have to go through all my houses and all the decorations that I do have, which is not nearly as much as some people, and see what I can pull off. Also, I would need Gus's help because some of the stuff is his too. Hey, we've been gaming together for almost a decade, so here is the Breland Crafting Hall. This is the main crafting area. Master of Apprentices, which is where you would get your initial 3 crafting professions. Or if I wanted to change a crafting profession, say I don't want scholar, I want something else, I could pick from the list. Master of Crafting Guilds, which is where you join your crafting guild at, but like I said, he's not ready to join one. And of course, all your crafting stations, your crafters that you can buy recipes from. Master of Lore. And that would be Scholar, which Thormurn actually is a scholar. He is a farmer, a cook, and a scholar, because they just went well together. Yeah. This is probably one of the most enclosed crafting areas early on. In the Shire, it's a little bit more spread out. In Thorin's Hall, as we saw earlier, it's kind of spread out. Kellendom actually has it a little more enclosed too. Well, then you would probably want to do what Thormurn did and be a farmer, cook, and scholar. But yeah, so unless there are any more thoughts that have popped into anybody's head about a crafting tutorial, what are the other options? Okay, so all the options are obviously farmer, cook, scholar, which Thormurn is. We also have forester, which gathers wood and processes wood and leather. We have a jeweler, which clearly makes jewelry and other items like runestones and hope tokens. We have the metalsmith that makes heavy armor, shields. I think they make the crafting tools, if I remember right. A couple other things I can't think of off the top of my head. The prospector, which, no, I don't want to change. The prospector, which gathers ore and processes it into ingots. You gave a little suggestion above I probably missed. Okay, I will look into that in a second. Tailor, which does light and medium armor. Weaponsmith, which makes, of course, your blades, your axes. Oh, okay, we haven't gotten to it. Blades, axes, your sharp weapons. I believe they also make some other things I can't think of off the top of my head. Well, if you go Scholar, Cook, and Forester, you would need somebody to grow the food for you to cook. So you would have to get together with someone else. Maybe trade with somebody who's a woodworker and a farmer. And the last one is woodworker. And they make your staves, your clubs, the minstrel instruments. So if you're a minstrel, they use different instruments as part of their attack. The woodworker makes bows. And of course, there are various professions that do some housing items. Now, let me look up real quick, because George Chris said you mentioned something. Mind taking something into consideration about the tutorial. You may want to consider a structure to it before actually adding in specific info about this particular game. Yes, we will be considering a structure because I'm going to start off with a very rough outline, and then I will figure out what the best progression will be for explaining professions. And then once I've organized it, then I will create a full outline that I can use from a script, or use to create a script. Does that make sense? I will try to make it as simplified as I can. I might even want to break it up into a couple of videos, starting with here are each of the professions and what they do. And then the next one, here are some of the best profession combinations and what classes they might be suitable for. And then do a video on the fun stuff that certain crafters can make, like the furniture and stuff for housing, and where to find those recipes at. So we might consider breaking it up. It depends on how the outline looks. If the outline looks like it's really long and it's going to be like an hour and a half long tutorial, then I am most certainly going to break it up into parts. Ah. But my goal is to make the tutorial or tutorials as both easy for a new player to understand and absorb, and even maybe give a little information to somebody who's played a while and maybe hasn't fully done crafting. Like Flower says, she hasn't done crafting. If there are some tips you have for gathering, okay. All right, so I've written that down. And I'll see what I can come up with for tips for gathering. So we might break it into... Yeah, we might end up breaking this up into at least 3 parts. Maybe 4. Like I said, it will depend on... If I look at that outline and I go, holy heck, I'm going to be talking for a week and a half. I'm going to be like, yeah, we'll break this up. But we have run way past 9:30. I've not even eaten yet. So let me go ahead and take this time to thank everybody who's come by. Nordic, thank you so much. Appreciate you. I do hope you feel better. Jacob, thank you. I appreciate you coming in. Sean Hall, I was glad to have you. And thank you all for the suggestion on the tutorial video. Did I mention George Chris? I think I haven't. George Chris, thank you. Oh, yes, and Drive By, thank you for popping in and saying hi. And who else? Oh, yes, I know, Flower. I'm getting to you, Flower. Flower, thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad that things are going well, and I look forward to the time when we can play again. And I thought there was somebody else. Who am I missing? I've mentioned Nordic, Sean, George, Flower, Drive By, Sean. I feel like I'm missing somebody. If I am, I am so sorry. I'm horrible with names. But I do still appreciate you. And, well, to everybody who popped in to watch but didn't say anything, know that I still appreciate you being here. But next time, say hi. I promise I don't bite. And yes, Flower, I will go eat now. And everybody have a great rest of your evening and have a wonderful Monday. And again, Nordic, I hope you feel better soon. So I will stop talking now. But to everybody, have a great night. And until next time, bye for now.